So can you drink alcohol after weight loss surgery? This is one of the most common questions that I get, especially after my 2 recent videos that I posted where I was traveling to Sonoma, California for my 40th birthday with the entire intention being drinking wine and basking in the sunshine. So today we are going to break it all down. The risks, the timing, the changes to your tolerance, everything you need to know before you take your first sip after bariatric surgery. To my new friends, hi, I am Chelsea, your Bari godmother, helping you navigate life after weight loss surgery with confidence and normalcy. If you love real talk about life after weight loss surgery, the wins, the challenges, and the losses, the struggles in between, then join our BariTale community. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, so you will be notified every single time I drop a new video. All right, let's jump straight into it. Yes, alcohol can impact you and will impact you differently after weight loss surgery, but why? There's actually some science behind this. With a smaller stomach and altered digestion, alcohol gets into your bloodstream faster than it did in your former tummied life, which means that you are going to feel more lightheaded, tipsy, or intoxicated faster than you ever did before you had bariatric surgery. The science continues to say that 1 alcoholic beverage is more like 3 alcoholic beverages in a post-op tummy, no matter the type of weight loss surgery that you've had. So if alcohol is in your future or you would like it to be closer to your present, there are some strategies to put in place to help you get there in a safe way. This advice stands true, I think, whether you are pre, post-op, or no-op, but you need to be intermittently building in water because all of this is a liquid, right? The more full your stomach is with your water intake, the less room you have for alcohol. That's a balance here, right? Because if 1 drink equals 3, then we need to be drinking much more slowly than we ever have and not based on the pace of the people around us who are likely not weight loss surgery friends. The other strategy is that prior to drinking alcohol of any kind, and I will share that I no longer drink hard alcohol because I have, since surgery, which is almost 6 years ago, I love gin. I love Tanqueray gin, a gin and tonic with 6,000 limes, like an obscene amount of limes, used to be my favorite cocktail. And I still love a French 75, so I take it back. I do drink alcohol that's hard, but it has to be mixed with something else. That a gin and tonic now would lay me out very quickly, so I can't just have a tonic plus alcohol. I have to have a blend. And a French 75, in case you were interested in what this bougie drink is, this is a drink that will impress your friends. It is going to be gin, your favorite kind of gin, champagne, and lemon. Chef's kiss. So delicious. But I can have one of those period for a several month window. I do not go out and actively order French 75s when I'm going out to dinner or headed out somewhere to socialize with friends. But there's planning involved, and that's my point to you. Before you have your first sips, or you're planning on visiting a winery, going to a cute cocktail bar, going to a speakeasy, you need to make sure that 30 to 45 minutes prior to that first sip, you have a tummy full of high quality protein. I post a lot on my social media about my favorite beverage, which is champagne, because I am lucky enough that I get to drink it in places that are beautiful like Sonoma. So I want you to know that prior to posting that, prior to taking those sips, I have done the work of making sure I'm hydrated. I took my vitamins, I probably moved my body in the morning, and I am full of protein. So that way it's limiting and slowing down my intake, but also that alcohol has something to sit on top of rather than just an empty tummy. It is super common that many of us post-ops report feeling tipsy or drunk even after just a few sips of an alcoholic beverage, even if they never had a low tolerance prior to surgery. You need to go slowly and prepare for this outcome. Your days of chugging anything are over, my friend. Another scientific tidbit is that since your body's digestion is different, alcohol can stay in your body, in your system, longer than it did prior to surgery. This can make it really hard to gauge when you are actually sober. I find it easier for me to tell those signs in my body by standing, walking, and moving around while I'm socializing with my wine. I feel like when I'm seated for a long period of time and drinking and talking and hanging out with my friends, I'm not as aware of how my body is feeling. So I like to be standing. If I am sitting, I make it a point to stand up, use the bathroom, change seats, whatever, just to make sure that I am getting up and feeling what does that alcohol feel like in my body. And because alcohol can stay in your system longer, I am going to give us a little bit of a warning here. It might sound to you like this is going to be problematic, but hear me out. Hear me out. I prefer a European afternoon cocktail or glass of wine or champagne rather than an evening glass of wine. I want to drink outdoors in the sunshine so many hours before I need to go to bed, because after this experience, I want to be able to move my body, eat a meal, get more water in, and let my body digest. But I find that in the evenings, if I have a glass of wine with a late dinner or after a late dinner or before a late dinner, right, spacing things out by 15 to 30 minutes, that I am climbing into bed 1 to 2 hours after that and feeling every single ounce of that alcohol digest in my system, and I have to stay awake for it. My body won't let me sleep when I am digesting and processing alcohol. So I would rather have a rosé afternoon, a brunch rosé, than an evening rosé. Question for you. If you too are a post-op weight loss surgery friend, have you noticed how alcohol affects or impacts you? I would love to know your story in the comments below. So when is it actually safe to drink? Most surgeons and weight loss surgery center clinics recommend somewhere between 6 to 12 months as your no drinking window in order to let your body heal and also your altered digestion system to settle in place. Additionally, within this first year or so, these are your magic months where you are expected to lose the most amount of weight that you're going to lose in this journey. So you likely do not want to jeopardize these months by adding unnecessary empty calories in the form of alcohol. It's not forever. Be patient, or be as patient as you can be. In my particular clinic, they recommended the whole kit and caboodle of 12 months, and I will be honest and vulnerable with you here and let you know that I made it to 10. I was 10 months out as we were entering into the pandemic. Not that that's necessarily an excuse. Honestly, the pandemic probably helped me because I couldn't go out to restaurants, bars, speakeasies, wineries with my friends because that wasn't allowed during COVID. So I was home with my daughter, my full-time job, also trying to teach her. She was in preschool at the time, doing all of these fun things with you here on YouTube, but it was a lot to handle. So I started with a 2-ounce pour, and the first time that I consumed that, it was too much. So I had to cut down. That sounds ridiculous now, 6 years later, but I will tell you that using a measuring tool, you can't just pour yourself a healthy 6 to 8 ounce happy pour glass. You need to be measuring in tiny amounts and rebuilding that tolerance. Drinking too soon after surgery can lead to everybody's favorite dumping syndrome. Because of the sugar content in what you're drinking, it can lead to severe intoxication, which is really dangerous, period, but especially dangerous on a post-op tummy, or even alcohol dependency because food can no longer be used as a coping mechanism to fill that emotional void. This is called a transfer addiction when you take one addiction, i.e. binge stress eating, aka food, and then transfer it to something that you can use like alcohol. It's fairly common and really dangerous in this case. Something to consider is just because you can drink doesn't mean that you should. And the answer to that question is going to be different based on everyone's individual experiences and lifestyles. I think especially early on, the answer to this question is no. You need to give your body the appropriate time to heal and recover from surgery. And those are the months where you are building lifelong, super strong habits to make sure that your weight loss surgery is a success forever. Let's talk pros and cons of reintegrating alcohol back into your lifestyle. These are just points of consideration for you. Possible pros: social enjoyment in moderation, of course. The ability to partake in social events and circumstances. A treat, since it can align with your goals of having a normal, everyday healthy lifestyle, the 80-20 method. And for me, a pro is being able to drink the deliciousness of the stars, aka champagne. I genuinely love it. The cons and potential big risks: a higher risk of alcohol dependency because transfer addiction is real and it can sneak up on you. An increased risk of ulcers and stomach irritation, and of course the empty calories that only add into what you're eating during the day, therefore not necessarily helping your overall weight loss goals. The final takeaway is that drinking alcohol after surgery is a choice. It is a choice that I have intentionally and consciously made, knowing my own limitations, testing the waters with what works for me, and with some very specific prep work in advance. I know that this is something I can incorporate back into my life. And you can too, depending on your circumstance and how you go about it. I want to share with you what the potential risks and setbacks are of including alcohol back into your life from my own lived experience. I went to Sonoma to have a wine tasting week with my girlfriends, and there was prep work that went into that. But I will say, because the quality of the grapes and the soil is better on the West Coast than it is on the East Coast where I am. I live on Cape Cod in Massachusetts, that the wine there had less tannins, less sulfites. So even after doing a tasting with small pours of 3 to 4 wines, I didn't have a headache, but I was making sure to stay hydrated. We ate a ton of cheese, a ton of cheese. I'm surprised there's any cheese left on this earth because my sister and I ate so much cheese. If you haven't seen our video together, she had VSG 3 years ago or almost 3 years ago, and we did a Q&A with wine last week that I will leave linked up here for you. I knew that going to Sonoma was going to be about the wine, but just like the food mindset shift for me, I'm about the quality over the quantity of it. So I was very happy to take 1 or 2 sips of wines I didn't really like but wanted to try and put them back on the table so I could spend the rest of my tummy bank area on the wines I did want to enjoy. I want to normalize for you that drinking alcohol with intention and preparation is absolutely possible in your post-op life. I believe that navigating life after weight loss surgery is about so much more than just the number on the scale. It's about the lifestyle that you cultivate and get to create that you've likely been dreaming about since well before surgery, where you could envision a life in the body that you get to be in now. I live my day-to-day where I make empowered choices, and that's exactly why I created the Coronation group coaching package. It is my signature 12-week small group high-touch coaching package to allow and teach the lessons for you to be able to do the same. This group coaching community is for women who want real talk, strategies, and support. In the 12-week Coronation, we talk about real life, real world things like getting back on track, needing a reset after surgery, especially after that 2 to 3 year mark. We talk about navigating alcohol in social situations, whether you're choosing to drink or not. We talk about breaking weight loss stalls and hitting the goals that you set for yourself early on. You don't have to figure this out alone. I'm here to help you and to give you a community to step into who understands exactly what you're going through. If this sounds like you, if you're saying, yes, this is me, Chelsea, you are speaking to me, the doors are open for the Coronation right now, and I have limited spots because I want this to be an intimate experience where I get to answer all of your questions live together for 12 weeks. Click the link in the description box to learn more and save your seat. So the question of the day is, do you think you will, or have you started to include alcohol in your post-op life? There's no judgment here, whether you say yay or nay. I understand the reasons on both sides, but I'm curious about your experience. Let's chat in the comments, shall we? If you think this video has been helpful to you, or you know someone who it might be helpful for, give it a thumbs up, share it. Spread the love. Engaging is free no matter how you choose to do it, and it helps spread our message to more people about breaking the stigma around weight loss surgery. And if you're interested in coaching, holding yourself accountable, and meeting your goals this year, I hope you will check out the Coronation. I have a total of 8 spots open. You are some of the first to find out this information, so save your seat. Information will be in the description box. Thank you for being here with me today. I love you to the moon and back, to Sonoma and back, to the best soil for wine and back. And I will see you same time, same place next week. Bye, friends.